I'm on Mars, scorching hot. Life can be hard, but it's what we do to get to the top. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello, hopefully everybody can hear me. Give a hi in the chat if there's anybody in here. Give a thumbs up if the sound is good. This is the first live, guys, so any feedback or anything you guys have is always really appreciated, so let us know. Use that chat feature, especially since we're live. That'll be super great. We can answer any questions you guys have throughout the live today. Zach is behind the scenes there running all the techie stuff, and he'll be kind of paying attention to any questions if anybody asks anything in the chat, and then if it's a good point, he'll kind of bring those up and I will answer them kind of as we go. Yeah, let us know if sound is good, if I'm too loud, too quiet, all that good stuff. We'll just give a few minutes here before we dive into the fun part with the balloons. What's up, Zach? Go ahead.
Kathleen says, so glad you're here.
Hi Kathleen, welcome. So glad you're here. We're happy to have you in our first live.
Congratulations on our wedding.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yes, thank you so much. We did that little post on our Instagram and on our YouTube. We did that little video. But yeah, we kind of unplugged for like, what, a week and a half? Almost 2 weeks? Yeah, but it was great. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. Super exciting. Super excited to have you guys. Again, we're just gonna like give a few minutes. Gonna let, you know, let this kind of get started. But basically today, we wanted to do this live to not only kind of go through how we do our balloon garlands, but also to like answer any questions live that you guys might have like as we're going, or if you guys have thought of anything watching any of our videos or anything like that. This will just be a fun way to kind of talk to you guys. Yeah, so obviously 4th of July, I don't know if anybody's doing anything fun for the weekend, but we got some 4th of July colors here that I had, some red, some blues, some white gold, which I really love. So I'm actually excited to see how these turn out. But we have all of our balloons already blown up. That way you guys didn't have to sit and listen to the electric blower for, you know, like an hour, because we all know that gets really fun. So yeah, they're already blown up, but then we are going to show you guys how we cluster them, how we put them into mini garlands, and then of course how we put them up on the wall and do the base garland or the skeleton, and then how we do our details and all that fun stuff. Yes, Zach, yell at me if I am getting quiet. I have a tendency to talk quiet sometimes, or Zach would say all the time. So I apologize. I will try my best to enunciate and pronunciate and be louder. Okay. All right. So should we get started? What do you think? Yeah?
Yeah, get rid of the
ready
title?
To get started? Yeah, I think we can get rid of the title. I think we'll get into the fun stuff, you know? Because we got the balloons here. They're just waiting to be made into something cool. All right, so basically, let's go ahead. Ooh, good catch. Caught it. I saved it. All right, so I want to first start off by saying a few things. One, I'm a little sore from our workout that we did yesterday, so if I'm walking around like Bambi and kneeling really slowly, that is why. Anyways, also,
what
yes,
brand balloons are the white gold?
They are Calsan. Good old Calsan. White gold, where are they?
In a bag.
Grab a few. Oh. Boom. They're so pretty. The white gold. Yes, Calsan.
Having a hard time finding gold and silver.
Ooh, yeah. That's honestly, I think that's right now because of graduation. There was definitely a stint there where it was hard to find a lot of that stuff. But I bought these directly. No, I did not buy these directly from Calsan. You can buy them directly from Calsan if they're in stock. Or I ordered them from Pro Balloon Shop is actually where I got these from. But we are basically working with Calsan, which is the white gold, and then we have just a white, which is our Calsan, and then I believe the rest of these are Tough Tax. So
How do you spell Calsan?
Kalisan.
Kalisan.
Yep. Yeah, so the rest of these are Tough Tax, which I would say are probably my two favorite brands if I had to pick. I've worked with Qualitex, Gemar. I mean, I've done like Amazon balloons before, which are terrible, but you know, if you have to make them work, you gotta make them work. But I would say, yeah, for the reason that we use the tying of the neck method, I enjoy using Calsan and Tough Tax the best. I will say, the polka dot ones that we have mixed in here are Qualitex. Alright, so we're gonna start off by just like saying a few little notes here. Like I said, I have them all inflated already. So I have my 19 inches, my standard like 11 inches, and then I also have our 5s already blown up as well. So everything's already blown up, and they are put into pairs like this. So I inflate them and then I tie them together. That's how I do it. We have obviously YouTube videos and I'm sure you've seen on how I do it, but that's how they are right now, in pairs. So what we're gonna do is we're going to cluster them. I pair all my colors together because I like to color block. So when I'm inflating them, I'm inflating 2 of the same colors. I'm tying 2 of the same colors together. And then when I'm clustering them together, they are the same colors as well. So to cluster, I grab 2 of my pairs and I grab them kind of where they meet, and I kind of push them together where they meet. So it kind of like creates like an X. And then I take 2 balloons and I just twist them around each other 2-3 times just to make sure they're nice and secured. That way we have a set of 4 all together. It does not matter like how many 19s you have in there, nothing like that. But we do want to grab another. This is still part of our cluster. We're going to add this one in as well. Oop. Throwing balloons. All right.
I love live.
Live, you get to see all the live action. This is how it is. All right, same thing. Middles, we're going to grab and put those together. Obviously, it's a little bit harder with the 2. And then we're going to spin 2 together. Boom. All right. So now we have a total of 6 balloons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 balloons together. That is what I refer to as like a cluster or a mini cluster. So if you hear me saying those things, this is what I'm referring to. It is 6 balloons twisted together. All right, so basically we're gonna do that with the rest of our balloons. This is a nice way too, just to kind of like consolidate your balloons as you're inflating, so you don't have just like a bunch of loose balloons flying around and just like everywhere. If you cluster them together, they obviously stay together a little bit better. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep clustering my colors together. Alright, so I got all my whites, and as you can see, like in this one, I don't have any larger like 19 inches. I don't actually have any larger 19 whites at all. I only have the 11s, and that's fine. It's all the same concept. And you don't need like every size and every color, if that makes sense. So like the whites, I have white 11s and I have white 5s, but I don't have any larger whites, and that's okay. All right, so now these lighter blue ones, the lighter blue ones are actually double stuffed. So it is a Tough Tex Sea Glass blue is the one on top, and then inside is the black. So there's not really anything different with the double stuffed, except for like they'll feel a bit more like dense and compact. And then when you're tying them, you honestly only want to tie the inner balloon. So in this case, the black one is inside, so I only tied the 2 black necks together. It's just going to be a lot easier tying wise for your fingers. But it's still the same concept when we go ahead to cluster them. 3 times. We're gonna find another loose one. Here they are. I will say too, like generally when we are prepping for balloons for a client, we have like a tarp or a big piece of plastic down just to protect the balloons from dust, hairs, things like that. Obviously when you're working with them, it's gonna happen. Once you have the install complete and it's up, you can always clean later. But just as a, you know, another precautionary measure, go ahead and use a tarp or a piece of plastic just to protect them a little bit more. All right. Keep going here. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat there. We also got these Tough Text Navy that we're working with here. Gotta find matches. Oh, there's one. All right. I will say too, kind of using this method of clustering them, you know how many kind of balloons you're working with here. So I know that there's always 6 balloons in a cluster. That kind of down the line will help me determine, depending on what size garland I'm making, kind of how many balloons I'm gonna need. And feel free to, you know, use your whole body. You know, sometimes I just like can't get them to twist, and I'm like holding it between my legs, and we're twisting here. You know, do what you gotta do. Let's find.
I have a question.
All right, let's hear it.
When you're making your balloon garlands, do you always have a plan you stick with, or do you start making the garland and then decide what you want to make?
So, that is a great question. I will say I used to just make the whole base garland during this prepping point, which I don't do anymore. I go to the site and I build it on site. So I don't really know what I'm doing until I'm there. You know, you kind of go with the flow and the shape of, you know, if you're working with a doorway, or if they want a sign here, then you're working around the sign, or if there's, you know, lettering or text on the wall and you want to frame it.
Give the breakfast.
Yeah, if you've watched any of our videos working with Breakfast Bitch, which is a breakfast place in Arizona, they have a wall where it says, bitch don't kill my vibe, in big black letters. And we've done a few installs where, you know, we framed one, we had it on either side for one. So, you know, you kind of just want to play with it. I like to try and do different things every time. But again, it'll mostly be based off of the site that you're working with. So hopefully that answers your question. Alright, got those. Let's see, we got some white ones I still gotta cluster together, some red ones. Just trying to find the ones that are loose. Another red one, where are you?
Kathleen, hope you're having a great
Red.
day.
Yeah, how's your 4th of July weekend going? Okay, I know I should have one more
Red.
set of red. Where are ya? Unless I miscounted completely.
What
God,
do you
it's
do in
possible.
these situations?
In these situations, I would just blow up 2 more. I think I need 2 more. Yep, that's it. That's all I need. So we're just set that off to the side for now. Totally possible I miscounted when I was pulling the balloons. That happens sometimes, because I do not see any more red ones. But again, this is kind of why I like to cluster them as I go, because then I don't have any balloons kind of like running away from me and, you know, hiding in spots, which has happened.
She said it's good.
Good. Awesome.
You know if you need a water break.
Yeah, we got our big gallon water. Stay hydrated. Alright. So like this one, for example. This one's gonna have 3 19 inchers in it, which is fine, but I will say it does make it a little bit more challenging when we go to twist them in. Okay, there we go.
We're having a bunch of people over. Nice.
Oh, nice. Today? Fun. Are you a fireworks person? Some people love fireworks, some people hate fireworks, some people are like, eh. And take them or leave them. Oh, my other white one is way over here. Alright. Bada bing, bada boom. Alrighty.
T5V4X is asked, is the big one a 24 or a 36?
The big one is neither, actually. The big one is, I believe the golds are 18s and the reds are 19 inches.
Want to hold them up against? I can't really tell, really.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty similar in sizes.
Oh, red's definitely bigger.
Yep, the red's a 19 inch. The white gold is an 18 inch. So, and then the other ones are just like your standard 11 inches. So yeah, if you're working with 24 inches or 36 inches, I usually generally put those in last. Just because those are really like your accent balloons, and so you really want to place those in a very like particular spot at the end once you have the shape of your garland, and things like that already down. Okay. I think I have clustered all of our balloons.
Okay.
So.
Kathleen said tomorrow they're having a party, and she has 9 children.
Oh
and
my
they're
gosh.
inviting their friends.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be a party.
They love fireworks, and they're going to do a big thing for the kids, and
Love
they help
it.
her make the balloons.
I was going to say, you got to be doing a balloon garland then. You got to let us know, like, what colors you're doing. I always love to, like, see people's color palettes and stuff. I love that. That is awesome. You guys will have a blast. I think Zach and I will maybe try and go catch some fireworks, but we are also going to be, we're going to be reusing these balloons just for a little party that we're having, and we're going to go hang these up and use them for that as well. So we're using them for this, and then, yeah. So we're gonna take it down and go hang them up.
You'll see
for
these balloons out in the wild.
Yeah. All right. So for our next step, after we have clustered our balloons together, we are gonna go ahead and make mini garlands, which is basically this little guy right here, which is a total of 12 balloons. So all that is going to be, let's grab my white ones. Those will be easy to demonstrate. Alright, so I got 1 mini cluster here of 6. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a neck from in there. Grab another of same color, white with white.
You want to
Two
get
of the
closer
same.
and show them the neck?
Probably not really gonna be able to see in there.
Yeah.
You're basically just grabbing one of the necks. In the center, you're gonna have a neck from all 6 balloons, so just grab one. And, and hang on to it tight so you don't lose it. Alright. Once you have a neck from each cluster, you're going to tie them together. Alright, you'll have to bear with me too. My tying skills are a little off because I still have these nails on from our wedding, which I am not used to. Gonna have to get them taken off soon. Alright, so there we have it. We have a little mini garland here now. So 2 clusters together, 2 clusters of 6 put together, make a mini garland of 12. So this is, again, how I kind of determine how many balloons I'm going to need based off of the size of garland that I've been commissioned to make. So this mini garland is, you know, about a foot, roughly, give or take. But basically, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. with all of our colors. And again, just keeping the colors together. If you're working with double stuffed balloons, which I have here, you're just working with those inner balloon necks. That way it's going to make your life a lot easier tying wise. You know, I will say double stuffed balloons are going to definitely feel more like dense and compact just because you have those 2 layers of latex. Okay, there we are.
Hello to everyone who joined.
Boom, boom. Awesome. Hi guys, welcome for anyone who is just joining us. I will kind of, you know, repeat any steps if anyone has any questions, but we are just going through the steps of how we create our garlands. Right now we are in the step of making our mini garlands, which just has 12 balloons in it, which is this here. And basically to create those, we're taking our clusters of 6 balloons, which we have a cluster right here, and a like colored cluster here. Again, just try and find a neck. Try and work with an 11-inch neck, just because they're a little bit stretchier, actually a lot bit stretchier. And it'll just be easier than using the necks of, you know, like the larger balloons. Which I have right now. And sometimes you just gotta grab a different neck. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes the neck will just kind of be like twisted around and it just won't be super stretchy. Just go ahead and grab a different one. Again, you're just grabbing it from the center of that mini cluster, which has 6 different balloons attached to it. So you got 6 different necks to choose from. Here is a mini garland. Now this one looks a little bit different. It's still 12 balloons, but obviously it looks a little different because we have these 18-inch balloons mixed in with our 11-inch balloons. So just gives it a little bit more depth and dimension. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen over there to make sure you guys can see what I'm showing you. Cool. So we'll keep crack-a-lacking here. Again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. We'll answer them as we go. We appreciate you guys being here. Let us know kind of like how you guys found us, where you found us from. Find us on Instagram, YouTube, just searching. Let us know about you guys. We are curious. Introduce yourselves. Okay, we've got another red here. Let's find another red. Untwist this neck a little bit. Still gonna blow up 2 more reds, but I'll wait till the end and see if we really need them or not. It's like right there, just keep grab it. Okay. Another thing I will say is this definitely took some getting used to as far as tying the necks of the balloons together. I'm still not the best at it, but definitely getting better at it. I do wear like tape on my pinky fingers because it just helps when I'm tying, so it's not rubbing up against my skin. And this technique of tying the necks, if you guys already do it or haven't tried it, I used to use like a braided fishing line, not like a clear fishing line, but like more of a heavy duty fishing line. I used to use that to tie my balloons together. And then I tried the technique of using 260s to kind of tie them together and using, you know, the figure 8 pattern and stuff, which those are all great, but I have definitely loved this technique the best just because I feel like it keeps everything very compact while also giving you the ability to really like move it around and shape it. So like, you know, you have 2 together, so I could take this top one and I can move it to the side and I can do things with it. which you'll kind of see a little bit better example of when I'm going and attaching it to the wall. So let's go ahead and keep going here. That way we can get to
the fun stuff.
The even more fun stuff. But this is the important stuff, definitely.
So Kathleen found us on YouTube.
Awesome.
She was looking up double stuffed balloons and we popped up on YouTube. And then I've been watching your YouTube videos for the past few weeks.
Ah, that's awesome, Kathleen. I know I remember your comments. I remember your name. So we appreciate you, sticking with us after finding us. And that's super cool that you found us from Double Stuffed Balloons, because I feel like that is definitely one of our more popular videos, are the double stuff, which is cool to me because when I first started working with double stuffed balloons, I did not find any videos out there really, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I remember getting them, and I had to do it for a client, and I couldn't even get them to inflate, on the electric pump, and I was like, why won't these inflate? How do I inflate? And I figured out a technique of having to kind of stretch the latex. I did a video on that. But there's different techniques, and even the tying of double stuffed balloons. I didn't know that you only need to tie the inner balloon when I first started. I was trying to tie both sets of latex, and it was a nightmare. So super cool that you found us for that reason, because again, I feel like I didn't find anything out there when I first started. So definitely, if there's any double stuffed balloon specific questions that you have, let us know. And we'll definitely do some more videos on double stuffed balloons.
Follows us on Instagram as well.
That's awesome. We appreciate it.
Welcome to the community.
Seriously, yeah. How long have you been doing balloons for? I'd love to hear about your balloon journey too. But it sounds like you have quite the crew with 9 kids. Hopefully they help you. All this long hair. I will say also that when I'm on an install and for a client, I usually have my hair tied back, just because then I see way less hair on the balloons, because it's just kind of inevitable when you have long hair and you're working on latex. It's gonna just kind of get attracted and stuck to each other. So another little tip, when you are tying your clusters together, obviously you're going to want to grab it from as close to the inside of the neck and pull it. That way you're getting the tightest knots. And then also, once they're tied together, you feel free to squish them together and move them around. If you see a little gap or something, you can twist it and you can move the balloons. They're not stuck where they are, so feel free to shift them and move them around, especially when we go to hang them on the wall. Alright, so this is my one that's missing too, so we'll just put this off to the side for now. I feel like I'm gonna just randomly find those two just somewhere completely random, So we'll set these to the side as well, because we don't have a full cluster to attach those to.
Might be outside that door.
I feel like they might be. Should I check?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check. Okay. What are the odds, right?
No.
No.
Okay. They didn't run away.
I just miscounted. Alright. Get quick water break. Stay hydrated. Alright, I will say I'm super excited about these lives though, so I hope you guys enjoy these. We're gonna plan out some different things to touch each week on the lives. Our goal is to go live every Sunday. So obviously this one is going to be just kind of the basics, so how we prepped our balloons, and then how we're going to make a basic garland. Go for it. What's up?
Maxine Brown said, thank
Hi.
you for this technique. I've been using 260s to attach clusters.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Sorry, give me the name again. Maxine. Okay. Sorry, I am terrible with names. Maxine, Kathleen, appreciate you guys being here. Maxine, that's awesome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I did that for a while too. I did have my clusters, and then you kind of do like the figure 8 and clump them together, which works fine. Honestly, it's very similar, I think, to the tying of the neck method. I think the biggest difference, honestly, is just the fact that like you're using less materials. Like, you know, instead of using those 260s to kind of create the same effect you can create tying the necks, and just saving those 260 materials and using them in other places, you know, I think that's the biggest perk of just doing the necks instead of the 260s. But I will say, just while we're on the topic, that I do use my 260s to make these little garlands with my 5 inches. So I made a little boo-boo now that I'm thinking about it, and I didn't leave any of these not clustered to show you guys how we do these. So this is something that we will maybe tackle in the next live, is how I put these little guys together. But basically they are attached with a 260. I like this for the reason that then they're super like malleable to just like fold and shape and move around how you want them, because I think these are really fun when they're like in these larger groupings.
Kathleen said, yes, we wanted a side business, something that my kids could help with. I'm a homeschool mom, and this is just a way that me and the kids could earn a little extra money, and it's working pretty good. I wound up getting a couple of elementary schools and a high school that I do balloons for.
That is awesome. I love that. I love that you made like a family thing and like you and your kids do it together, because I think that's super fun. I think this is a super fun thing to do, because even when we were staying with my mom for a little bit and I was doing balloon garlands, my younger brother, he was even like, oh, that's so cool. Like, you know, he wanted to get in on the action. He wanted to like blow some up, and you know, it's fun to get the, yeah, who doesn't love balloons? I mean, like, how do you not get excited about balloons? So that's fun. I love that. That is super cool. Yeah, share your stories, guys, on like how you started balloons, how long you guys have been doing it, where you found us from, all that good stuff. While you guys are doing that, I'm just gonna get started on this next step. So let's, of course, I piled all my balloons where I want to start. So we're gonna toss all these to the other side. I think I'm gonna start with a white gold one. Get all these out of the way.
You want to get the camera off and try to get closer, or not yet?
I think we're good now. Okay. Yeah. Again, if I was at a client's home or things, these would all be like bagged up, just so they're a little bit more protected, or on a little tarp of some sort. This guy. Oh yeah, we're starting with this guy. This guy's got a lot of the bigs in it. I love it. Okay. Sorry, I'm just loving this white gold. This white gold is just so fun. Alrighty, so maybe you can tilt it down a little bit now to just kind of show this area. So this is in our little studio area. So we have some hooks kind of already up on the wall. Our walls, unfortunately, are like this interesting, they're not like popcorn, it's like this interesting textured, but basically, you know, your 3M command hooks do not stay on these textured walls that we have. So we have to use these more heavy duty outdoor hooks, which don't really come off, so they are just permanently up there. So obviously, when I would be doing this on site, I'd be using the 3M command hooks, because those are not going to damage clients' walls. And I would be placing them up as I go. So I would attach the first one where I usually start from the bottom. I would go ahead and I would attach the hook, press the hook on there, make sure you hold it on there for a few seconds, and then leave the hook there for, you know, a minute to 5 minutes, just to like not have any pressure on the hook for, you know, right away. So while you have that hook on there and you're letting it sit, you can go ahead and grab your 260s. I just have some of these already pre-made because I try and reuse these. These are just how I connect the balloon garlands to any hooks. So it's literally just a 260. Let's see if you guys can see. Just tied as close to the end as I can get. So that way I have that. And what I do with that is I take my mini garland that I want to use, and I'm going to kind of hold it. Okay, I say I want it to start there. We want to kind of start more in the corner. I'm going to see, based off of where I want this, what balloon is kind of closest to the hook. So it's this one back here. I'm just taking it, I'm wrapping it around that balloon. And I'm literally just going to, try not to let go of it, because then you're going to lose it in the balloons, but it happens sometimes. And you literally just wrap it on the hook. And with the starting mini garland that's towards the floor especially, just go ahead and kind of give it a little push down so it's not floating up off the ground. I like to start with a mini garland that has bigs in it, some of the 19 or 18 inches, just because I think towards the bottom a little bit fuller looks nicer, and having those bigs in there will help make it look a little bit fuller. So now that we have that up on the wall, I kind of like to look at it and just like adjust it a little bit. Like I said, feel free to move it how you want it. And do this as you go. I will say, as you are going, it's gonna move around a little bit. It's kind of inevitable. So just keep, as you're going, taking a step back, looking at it, shifting things around how you want them to look. All right, so that one's attached to the wall. That's our anchor, our base, our start. And now we're just gonna go ahead and grab another color. We're gonna go with some of the navy. Got our navy garland, navy mini garland. I'm gonna go ahead and at the end of the garland, find a neck. And then same here, I'm gonna go in, find a neck, preferably an 11, tie them together. And how you're inflating your balloons, as silly as it sounds, is like super duper important for like many reasons. We've made a video on this, but for the reason I wanted to talk about now is that if you are inflating them correctly, you will have the longest neck possible. That way, when you're going and tying them, they're not pulling too much, they're not fraying, things like that, and you're not struggling to get it tied because you just don't have enough slack. All right, so we got this one attached. I'm not loving this direction it's going, so we're gonna adjust it a little bit. I'm actually gonna have it kind of come this way, I think. And it's too much of a straight line, so I'm gonna move it even more. Okay, so there we are. Boop. Cool. Now, like I said, move things as you go, and the beauty of tying two clusters together into mini garland is you basically kind of have like two parts. You have a top and a bottom, like your first cluster and your second cluster. So you can, like I did, it was facing this way. I just took that top cluster and I pushed it on this side instead. So we have it going the other direction. And I'm even kind of feeling like this bottom piece is a little too like straight for my liking. So I'm even going to push that a little bit more that way. Yeah. All right. Cool. So let's go ahead and grab another color. Any color, really. Try not to do, like white, blue, white, blue, white, blue. I like to have at least 3 colors minimum. And work
Question.
Yeah.
So you're gonna attach this white one to the blue, right?
Yep.
I know you're gonna attach it to the top, like you said, the end of the mini garland.
Mm-hmm.
Could you attach it to like the side or the middles and make it like stick out the side?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like you want it like here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you can do whatever you want.
You just grab the neck.
There's
right?
no like, yeah.
Because how would I connect it then? Same thing.
Yeah, you're just gonna find a neck. Your necks are gonna mostly be found like in here and in here. This spot here in the middle is where they're meeting, so you're not having a lot of options for necks there. You need to find the necks either in the top cluster or in the bottom cluster, if that makes sense. So yeah, theoretically you could have it, come in right here, which is where a bunch of my necks are, and have it come out this way. Yeah, maybe we could do something like that. Yeah, this is for experimenting right now what we're doing, so you want to try that?
I was just wondering, because that makes a good point, because in the middle of it, you're tying the 2 necks are already tied together.
So you don't want to tie
that one. So you don't want to tie that one, because it'll probably rip or something.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but there are necks at the top that you can grab and at the bottom, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right, well,
I think you should do it.
You think I should do it?
Yeah, go on the bottom, go on a different angle, or go out in the outside.
We don't know what it's gonna look like.
We don't know. But see, then we can show them how to get rid of it.
Yeah, you can always clip stuff off if you don't like it. Yeah, I mean we could.
Do you, boo boo?
I was just I had a vision, but
no, do your vision. Do your vision. I don't like to get in the way of the vision.
Can't get in the way of the vision.
Can't get in the way of the vision. I'm putting the title up, guys. Hello, if you're new.
Welcome.
We are building a balloon garland today.
Alright, so obviously this is just all for experimenting right now and kind of playing with the shape that we want. If we're not liking something, we can change it. I will say that usually by the 3rd mini garland that you attach, so we got 1 mini garland, 2, 3, you'll probably need another hook or another like anchor point. Otherwise it's gonna start to like droop or just kind of flop around, things like that. So we're probably going to want to attach another hook here. But first, before I do that, I want to decide where I want this going because I don't like the shape yet. So we're gonna figure that out in just a second. But I want to say hi to anyone who is just joining us. Appreciate you. I'm Mariah. Welcome. Feel free to say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from, how long you've been doing balloons, how you found us, all that good stuff. So, let's see. I kind of want to have this. I'm looking at the camera so I can see what shape I want to do. Honestly, I might have it come here. I'll attach one more and then attach to that. We might need another anchor point, so we'll give it we're gonna tie it in and see how it looks. Because we have a hook here that I might be able to attach to. We're gonna see. See how she looks once we got her in there. This one's got some bigs on it too, so it's gonna be a little bit heavier.
Kathleen said, I think your next video should be you showing Zach how to make a balloon garland. You can instruct him and have him build the garland.
I love that. I love that idea. That's actually funny because we were having, like, Zach, you had the thought, like, yesterday of you, like, telling me almost, like, what color to use next. And so, like, he gives me,
basically different pairs
his
of balloons.
His choices. Yeah, but I still build it. But I like that idea of Yeah.
I like that idea. I'm writing it down, Kathleen.
Alright, so I want to grab my 260s. This is gonna fall for a second. Nope. And we caught it. Let's see where we're attached. Find the balloon.
Love the idea. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yes, any ideas you guys have are always super helpful. So, let's go ahead and this a little bit. I don't like that that's drooping down. So we're gonna have to go up. Yeah, gotta have it up. Alright, cool. So, again, this is kind of where we're going, and then if we're looking at it and we don't like something, it's easy just to take it off and start over. So, this one, again, is just kind of showing you guys how we do our very basic ones. If you wanted to do something where you took your 5s and you had those in here, do it. Play around with it. Do something different. That is totally fine. We have some videos where we do stuff like that too, and we're hoping to make some new videos of us trying some things that we've never tried before too. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of end this one with a little tail. Whoop. Whoop. A little tail of some minis at the top here. So my minis, like I said, we will do a video where I show you how I make these, but it has a 260, just like the little tail end sticking out. I'm gonna take that and tie that to a neck. Nails. I don't think I'll ever be used to them, honestly. Okay. Cool. All right. So, as you can see there, that's just kind of how we're going to end that piece of the garland. And then I'm thinking we might have something come up and meet here. I think I might have it come out and down. We're gonna do something a little different because... But this is basically how you're creating your skeleton or your base garland. This is just creating the shape that you want in the environment. Also, so like I mentioned earlier, I used to create this base garland ahead of time, ahead of the event, as like part of my prep. I would create this whole base basically, so it would be all one piece. I would transport this and then I would try and fit it to the wall that I was working with, which was hard because you just can't control the shape of it as much as you want. You can't control where your 19s are facing. This just has a little bit more control as far as creating the shape and pointing the balloons where you want them. Does anyone have any questions so far? I'm gonna keep going with a little base garland over here on this side. Probably do this other set of reds. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the little cluster that only has 4 in it. It technically should have 6 in it, but I miscounted and was too short. But I'm gonna go ahead and just use it. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna use it for this purpose because sometimes balloons are gonna pop. You're gonna have a cluster of 6 and one's gonna pop or 2 are gonna pop or whatever. And you're gonna have a cluster that, you know, is already in your garland and you're not gonna take it out and do all that. You don't really need to. You can kind of just shift the balloons around to cover up any kind of holes that might have occurred if a balloon popped. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm still gonna do this. They're still twisted together. We're still gonna just tie the necks together. It's basically gonna be the exact same thing, just a little bit smaller with less balloons. So this we're gonna use as the start of this one, I think. Where do we want it to start? Here? I'm trying to see in my, over here more. Maybe I should start there. I don't really want to put another hook here if I don't have to. I don't really use any of this blue.
Kathleen said love it.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, we're just kind of, again, going with the flow. I think that's when people kind of create their best work. Is just when you work with the environment that you have. Alright. Gonna grab another looped 260. And I'm gonna go ahead and loop it around one of these. Just really sit on the ground.
Maxine Brown said, "This is great, no questions so far."
Awesome. Alright, so this is definitely, I was trying to avoid using a hook, another hook on that side. For this purpose, I'm not going to add one, but obviously if you were doing this for a client, you would want that bottom a little bit more secured down. Can you even tell in the video or in the shot when it's lifted?
The overlays are kind of covering it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little lifted off the ground. You don't normally wouldn't want that. I would definitely put another hook lower to the ground and attach to that one. I'm just trying to work with the hooks that I already have. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna do, I think, a blue. Actually, no, we're gonna do a white.
Maxine, how long have you been working with balloons?
So I have been working with balloons for going on.
I was asking Maxine.
Oh, well, that's embarrassing. Well, I'll answer the question since I already started, and then Maxine, you can answer the question. I've been working with balloons for about 2 years now. Yeah, so yeah, let us know how long you guys have been
That's a great example of shaping it.
What?
Definitely need another hook.
I know the hook is being a problem, but you get the gist of it. Should I literally have it connect? I wonder if I should actually like connect it. Maybe I'll connect it with some minis.
Yeah, do that. A bunch of little minis.
Yeah.
Like a wall of minis.
Connect it with that. I kind of like that. Alright, see? Yeah. If you checked out our video too, where we talk about kind of like repurposing and reusing your balloons after an install. So we include tear down when we do an installation. That way we can go back, we can collect all the balloons, and then we can use them to practice and do things like this. These were not actually used for another install. These we just kind of had, these are just balloons I had, and I was like, oh, these are perfect 4th of July colors. And we wanted to do something for a little gathering that we're having. So we're like, why not use them for the live? And then use them for our party, you know, try and get as much use out of balloons as you can, honestly. Use it for content, use them to practice is like the biggest thing though.
What brand of balloons are you using?
Yes, so these white gold ones that I have in my hand, as well as just the regular white, are Calisan balloons. And then the reds, the blues, both shades of blues, are Tough Tex balloons. So Calisan and Tough Tex. I would have to say those two are my personal favorites, especially for using the method of tying the necks, because they just seem to have the longest, stretchiest necks. Yeah, so definitely those are the two that I would recommend.
2 years now, same here.
Nice.
It's so peaceful to me.
It is. It's like, it's peaceful, it's calming, it's like, it's creative, it's fun, it's something new every time. Yeah, I totally agree. I love that. Lost it there. So it's definitely working against me right now. I think I'm gonna have to put both of these together.
Yeah.
Get one really long one. And again, just tying the necks. We're definitely gonna have to hook. Do another hook on that other side. Gonna happen. Oh. Honestly, it's probably my nails. I gotta get rid of these things. Not only can I not tie, but I'm also popping balloons. Alright, so that happened. No biggie. As any of you know who have been working with balloons, you know that that is bound to happen. So.
Definitely need a hook up there.
Yep, I have a hook up here. I just think it's not high enough. We have to add another one. Again, I'm just trying to work with the hooks that we already had up on our wall. Otherwise, you know, add hooks where you need them as you're going. So, let's go ahead. I guess I can add another one. Like right there.
Add 'em, baby.
Gotta add the hooks.
Gotta add the hooks. I love Calisand too.
Yes. Calisand is great. It's definitely a little bit more challenging to get, I think, personally. Just because it is a European brand, I believe. So yeah, we just end up paying a lot for shipping, I feel like, with Calisand, which can be worth it sometimes. But Tough Techs we can get really easily, and we actually have a store near us that we can get them from. So that is kind of our preferred one, but obviously ones like the white gold are specific to Calisand and are amazing. So, you know, yeah, there's just a few you have to get from Calisand because they're just too good. And I actually just recently, not too long ago, discovered Calisand too. I feel like it's one that people don't talk about as much as other brands. Alright, we're just kind of seeing where to best line up that hook, where I need it. I'm going to press it onto the wall for a few. These are the only hooks that we've found to work on our textured walls so far, but I don't think they're gonna come off without taking a bunch of paint off with them. So just keep that in mind if you need to use these hooks. I definitely think they'd be good for like outdoor things. And then I'm just going to give that a few seconds before I attach to it as well, just so it doesn't pull it off the wall. I also used to take the 260s and attach it to the hook and then kind of figure eight it through the balloons, which is definitely more secure, like it keeps everything tighter to the wall, but I've definitely noticed that it's too tight almost, and so when you're building it as you go and you're shifting things around, it'll pull the hooks off the wall a lot easier because you have it so tight. So I found that keeping it a little bit looser actually works better. There we go. That's what we wanted. We're gonna take a step back. For me, I can kind of just look in the camera, which is kind of nice. So obviously this side, I would not leave. I would not be super happy with it. I would definitely adjust this to be lower on the ground. Wish I could add another hook. You want me to add another hook? Oh, he's shaking his head. Alright, I'm gonna add the hook, everybody. That way.
We're just gonna have random hooks everywhere.
I mean, we're gonna need them for all these lives that we're gonna be doing, right?
Yep. And then you'll all know each and every hook You gotta name each and every hook. That one's Peter. That one's
Peter.
Becky.
And Peter.
Yeah, Calstan. Maxine said, Kathleen, thank you for spelling. I hadn't heard of them before. I always thought Calstan was with a C when I first heard it.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, again, I've only found Calsan on, directly from the Calsan website or Pro Balloon Shop. There might be others that sell it. Actually, there probably is, but. Alright, I'm gonna let that hook sit for just like a second. I'm gonna take this one off, I think.
Where do you get your Calsam balloons, Kathleen? She said I usually get them within 5 or 6 days. Does it take longer for us to get them?
I would say it probably took about 5 to 6 days, but it's definitely like the shipping is definitely expensive, at least from where we get them.
We'll have to take different photos because I don't know whether it's my phone or my computer, but the coloring is different.
I think it's your computer.
Yeah, because on the live it's duller.
Yeah. It's definitely your computer's graphics.
Maxine said, I'm over here taking notes.
I love it.
Take them notes.
Take them notes. Alright, I think I'm actually gonna rehook this guy up here. It's drooping a little bit too low now. And like I said, nothing's stuck. You can move stuff around. You can adjust. Alright. So just by adding that one hook, boom. Now I don't have the floating stuff on the bottom right. Cool. Alright, have we had any other questions yet? Or is this kind of what we're going with? Okay. So now the next part that I move on to after building the base or the skeleton is adding in the details, which are just going to be some like layering pieces. So we still have some extra mini garlands, so we're going to use these to kind of fill out some spots. So I'm definitely going to add, I think, this in here, into this bottom, really fill out the bottom there. We'll go ahead, and even when I'm doing details, I like to start from the bottom and kind of work my way up. So these are always a little bit challenging. You kind of gotta get on the floor. Actually, no, we'll get in that angle either. You gotta kind of find a spot. Find a spot, find the neck. It's like finding your light. It's definitely a little bit more difficult when you have bigs in there. Latex is not breathable though. It is hot. It is toasty. So we have one end of our mini garland, can't speak, one end of our mini garland attached, but now we have this other end that's kind of just floating out there. So there's a few things we could do. We either want to take the end and attach it maybe into the blue here, or if we want to still fill this in a little bit more, we can grab another mini garland and kind of attach it that way. Just as long as it's secured on both ends, so it's not just kind of like flopping around, is basically what we want to do. And I'm actually going to try something a little different. And I'm going to use my 5 inches to attach it, actually. Use these little guys. Aren't these adorable? They're so tiny. Woo. Oh no. I have to say, guys, the latex and the lights, it's getting a little toasty in here. And I don't think we have the AC on because of the sound. But it's fine, it's gonna be fine. Besides the fact that I can't tie this with these darn nails, man. Alright, we're not using those. We are going to use something else instead. It's just not happening.
Kathleen said $8.95 total shipping, no matter how big the order is.
Dang. And where is this from? Did we ever figure that out?
Smile.
I'm so wet and get me. Alright. I'm gonna take this. Tie it over here. Don't leave me a lot of room on these little guys. Sacked up these little guys for me while I was inflating.
Not good?
No, they're fine. It's just because they're double stuffed.
Oh, I didn't tie the inside balloon. I tied both latexes together.
Yeah, you did. Bravo to you and your fingers, because yikes. That is not a fun time.
My bad.
It's all good. It's making my job a little bit more difficult.
Keep you on your toes.
Gotta do that, right?
Yeah, you gotta do that.
I have a broken nail too, which is just, it's even more difficult. We got it! We got it, folks! Okay, where's a hair tie when you need one? Am I right? Hair tie to the rescue. Girl's gotta have a scrunchie. Okay. Now we're gonna take a look at what we just created. Is it a masterpiece? Is it a flop? I think she like it. Okay. Ooh, that's my fault. making them with the 260 running through them, you can really create just like a droopy, whooshy, whatever shape. Have fun with it, honestly. So, boom. Okay, so that is actually, it's not only adding some dimension, but it is attaching this mini garland of the white gold into the mini garland of the navy, so that that white gold is not flopping around. And it's giving it some really nice dimension here. And then we're gonna go ahead and add in a few other layers. I wanna do the blue up top here. Search for the neck. It's like, you know there's one in there.
Kathleen said, "Got around. Kids need dinner. LOL. See you next time. Thank you for today. It was fun."
Awesome. Thank you, Kathleen, for being here. We appreciate it. We hope to see you in the next one. Definitely go feed the kiddos. I know how that goes. We're going to get some food after this, too. Alright, so we're actually gonna do something, but now I'm getting other vibes. So, see, this is what I mean. You just don't know where it's gonna take you, right? Kind of feeling like having it come out there. Kind of like it. You know, this is what I mean, guys. You don't need to do, like, you know, just like a traditional balloon garland, you know? Make it a piece of art. Have fun with it. Especially when you just have a blank wall. Take advantage of it. Go all out. See? How fun. Love it. Cool. Alright. Add a little bit under here, I think. Should we go above? Should we go below? What are we thinking?
Above.
Above? More here, like red into the blue, or blue into the white?
Red and the blue, yeah.
Right here? Oh yeah, the tricky one, of course. Trying to find the neck in this red one is going to be difficult. Pure fact that we have a lot of nice people this one. Okay. Found one now. Just whether we can get it tied. Am I thinking this? My thinking, struggling face? saw, it was kind of just sticking out there and it wasn't looking too good. So we went ahead and changed that up a little bit just by pushing it towards the back, pushing it towards the wall. Just made all the difference, so it didn't look like it was just like coming out at you. So we've added in like our layers, we added in some of our minis, we got a few more in here. So minis you can kind of use in different areas to kind of bring like the whites into the blues. You don't need a color block with the minis either. As you can see, like I did some of the lighter blue in with the white gold. But it just can be used as like, I think I was gonna connect maybe this here. So we're gonna attach these two together. Not together in a long line.
Oh, maybe yeah. See it.
So another thing when I first started doing balloons, I used to just have like groupings of like 4 or 5 of the mini sizes grouped together, and then I would kind of just scatter those about, which I think looks good for you know, like smaller size garlands, because I think things like this in a smaller size garland is just too big and overwhelming. But if you're doing large installs and you have, you know, 19s in there and you have 24s and 36s, you want some like maybe larger pieces like this with your minis, just because it's going to give it more of a dimension, I think, than just kind of splattering about little clusters of minis. And using them as connecting points or using them as ending points is really fun too. Just kind of like have it swish off almost like a paint stroke. So that happened because I was grabbing the neck of a balloon instead of my 260, which my 260 is white and my balloons are white, so couldn't tell the difference. Alright, we got the 260 now, not the neck, so it should be good. Don't think we'll lose any balloons this time. Didn't lose a balloon, just lost the 260 right on my hand. They're a little slippery sometimes. Okay. Now I think this one could be fun, kind of arching over like that. Or should it come in front? I can't really see from here, but or should it just come into here? Kind of in front, maybe. Yeah? He's not saying anything, guys. I can't see from over there.
Just leave it like that and come over. Yep.
Yeah, I think I like that better. Beautiful. All right. So now, obviously, I have used up all the balloons that I blew up, but if I was on an install and I felt like I needed some more, I always bring just some non-inflated ones with me, so I can always inflate more and add more if needed. So again, this was very just like organic, went with the flow, did it as I went, but this is how we create all of our garlands, is with this kind of like step-by-step working with the mini garlands and just creating it on site wherever the event is being held, whether you're working on a wall, whether you're working on pipe and drape, or a fence or a stairwell, whatever. We use this technique for all of those things. So obviously, if anyone has any other questions that's in here now, we appreciate you guys being here, and hopefully you guys learned something or had a question answered, or maybe just got some ideas or got inspired and want to go do this yourself. But yeah, is there anything else that I didn't touch on, Zach? I think next week I will make sure to go over how we make these mini cluster garlands. I didn't want to say mini garlands, that's confusing. The 5-inch mini garlands. So we'll go over how I make those using the 260s. So we'll do that in next week's live. And then if anyone has any questions or topics that they want us to cover, that think of ahead of time, you can let us know. This will be a VOD, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people can watch this later. Okay, so they can leave comments and stuff like that. Cool. Cool. I think that's everything. I think this went really well. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a good time. This was really fun. And honestly,
would you add anything?
What do we think? Any
I would add more minis.
Add more minis
to this area.
I would add minis too, because I'm using a lot of the minis, as ending pieces or connector pieces. But I think I would definitely add, maybe a mini through here, because we just have a lot of 11 inches here, so something to break that up. I like grouping together my 5s near a 19, just because it gives you a good variation in sizing.
Maybe even
and then I would
24 right there.
Same thing. Yeah, same thing. I would add maybe a mini over here somewhere, just because we got a lot of 11s there. Just areas where you want to break up any stagnant, consistency.
A lot of 11s.
Yep.
Right there.
I would definitely add something in here probably. You could put a 24 in there like you were saying. But with the 24s, I recommend color blocking those. So 24s. If you have rose gold 24s, keep those with your rose golds. The minis, you can kind of mix and match. That's just what I personally prefer. But obviously, if you have something else that you prefer, go ahead and do that. There's no rules. There's no right or wrong. These are just my tips of what I personally think works. And we'd love to hear if you have a different opinion. So always feel free to share. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate you, and we hope to see you next Sunday, and have a happy 4th. All right, so I think we'll log off.